Okay. We'll go ahead and do the review for D-Round, Set Free, Prod Plus, and we start with the intros. We're gonna work from the journals. We won't have to, if we want to get to good information, we won't have to do this kind of, we build a real scene. And we're gonna start right off. I mean, what we're basically doing with all of these songs is just jumping keys from the key of, well, basically everything from C through D, focusing in on the G and the D keys. We'll move to A every now and then, but not very far into it. The only song that breaks off from the pack and really goes into other keys is going to be our finale for the covers part, the Once Upon a Dream theme. And, well, it's got a lot of keys to it. And we start off with the Wonka theme. And that's just going to be working out a sort of an E minor seventh chord. So just an E, G, D, E, G, D, E, G. That's where it changes up. It starts bouncing to F sharp and a G note. F sharp to a D note at the end there. And now, don't go to an E minor 7. We go to an E minor now. E, G, B, C, B, A. Sort of out of that A minor / A minor suspended 2. And then G, F sharp. And notice how it just keeps walking down there. We were on the A, now we go to that G, F sharp, and we close with a C type bar chord, but a D chord, and we're leaving the one string open and playing off that low D note. Drop D tuning, of course. So more of a ending on a D suspended second chord with the D, E, D. Alrighty. And the notes for that are going to be like the low D, mid D, F sharp, A, D, E, D. Alright, after that, well, we move on to the Pans intro. This is just working that C type bar chord, D major, but we're also going to like a D major 7. So D, F sharp, A. That's going to be a D, pull off to a C sharp, A, C sharp, hammer on to a D note. D, pull off to C sharp, hit the A, C sharp, hammer on to D. Next, E slides to F sharp, E, D, C sharp, B, A, G, B, E, C sharp, G, B, E. And I don't play these exactly like they sound on the album or in the movie or on the video game, but we get the lesson through. It's my own rendition, but we get the lesson through, because we're going to go from there straight to the D, C sharp, D, A, G sharp, A, D, C sharp, D, A, G sharp, A, and that's where the G sharp alt comes in, by the way. This is kind of pushing towards the A key now, but we're not going to go to the A key. Our next rendition is going to be right back into the D key as normal. We just have a little alt thrown in there. And that's all it is, just a G sharp alt. seems to push it up one key, but it's just alting into that next key. Alright, next I want to go ahead and talk about the refrain as well as the little bridge part. With our refrain, our little never going back again Fleetwood Mac part, we start out by going from a D, E to F sharp, E, D, A, D, A, slide to B, A, and then we're going to hit the, I'm sorry, I'm thinking the G part of it. We'll get to that. D, E, F sharp, E slides to F sharp, E, D, and that last time we're going to hit that E and that D note together there. Let me get myself off of the guitar. We're going to hit that E and that A together there. Oh, I'm sorry, that D and that A together there. So D, E slide to F sharp, E, D and the A note hit together. Not with the C sharp though. Second time I've done that. Alright. We move on to the G part of the refrain. Okay, so this is basically 1, 2 slide to 3 major, 2, 1, 5 note. Same here. 1, we're going to look at the D note as a 1 note. 2 slides to the major 3, 2, and then 1 and 5 note go together. Well, once we get to the next refrain part, the second time that this happens, and we're playing it off of a G chord, or off G notes, well, it's no different. G, A slides to B, A, G, and now the D note's going to be the 5 note. Same with. All that is A slide into B, A, G, and I'm using that D note right there as my 5 note, that G and that D together. Off that 3 and 4 string, 5th fret produces the G. On the 4th string, 7th fret produces the D on the 3rd string. So that is that second part of the refrain. It's just moving keys, changing up the key. And really not even changing up the key. It's just changing up positioning in the key. It allows it. If the key allows it, why not do it? And we had the opportunity and it sounded good. That's what we're going for. That is ultimately what forms the songs and what we're going for. If we get lucky, and we're always grateful. And you do it enough, you're eventually going to fall into something with every little thing that you work. It's just a matter of being patient and letting it come to you. That's songwriting for you. That's what I enjoy. I like finding sounds. I like unique little sounds. Alright, we're moving on past the refrain to the actual first bridge part, which is going to be D, A. Now, I know this isn't in order, but this is what I want to show you right here. It's going to be that last one was Fleetwood Mac, Never Going Back Again, like sounding. This one's going to be Aerosmith, the intro to what was it called? The one, Eat the Rich, and all those great songs are on. It's a later album, but it was still one of it was like, oh wow, they're up to par as ever, and their par is like, they're one of the greats. They had to Joe Perry, they're one of the greats, and they got a few good songwriters in that band. Joe Perry doesn't write them all; he writes the solos. They got a few good songwriters in that band. But that's what we're taking it off, is the very intro song to that album. And it's just D, A, D, A, F sharp pull off to E, D, E, D. And on the third string, G hammers onto A. So that D chord, we're taking advantage of both our suspended second on the 1 string and then our suspended fourth on the 3 string. And the lower part to that is just going to be the low D, mid D, A, D, and then the same thing. That F sharp pulling off to that E, D, E, D, that A hammering onto that G, and a final high D note. And yeah, that's basically our little bridge part. I would call it a second refrain if we used it once more, but this thing's been through some renditions. That doesn't get used twice anymore, so no longer a refrain. But okay, let's go ahead and take this forward to, well, the key of D original, which is just, so we're using a D major type chord, really a D fifth chord, because we're not going to the F sharp note, but we're tying that in with a major 7th chord, our C sharp note, our D major 7th chord. So this is just D, A, D, but the second time it's D, A, C sharp, and we're gonna D pull off to C sharp, A, and now we're gonna slide to the G, and just E type bar chord. We're just playing the high strings, 4 high strings, so G, B, D, B, suspended second chord first. So we're going to be using 1 through 3 strings, A, D, B, and then G, B, or I'm sorry, A, D, B, then G, D, B. There we go, said properly. We do that a couple of times, and well, after doing that the second time, that second time, we're going to go ahead and slide to A. So just A, C sharp, E, A, E, C sharp, G time again. So G, B, D, G, D, B. And our Aerosmith comes in there. We just 2 times on the high, 2 times on that low note, and we are going to now move on to, I do believe, Wish Upon a Star is up. Now, Wish Upon a Star is going to be in the key of G, but it is going to introduce a G sharp alt, and, well, the key of D doesn't have the key of G doesn't have a C sharp in it, so it's also going to have a C sharp, but only as an alt. It's complementing on the A key, but it's staying in that G key. It's complementing on the D key, but again, it's staying in that G key. Oh, in that order also. We'll see the G sharp first, then we'll see the C sharp, but they're almost treated as return notes. We just go to them and then go right back to the A note, or go to the C sharp and go right back to the D note. They are truly just used as alts. And I'll start us off here. G, D, C, B, G sharp, A, E, That's the first one. We won't be going back to it, just that one alt. Alright, next part. D, F sharp, E, D, C sharp, D, G. Won't be going back to that C sharp either. We are G key from here on out. And we're going to do a walk down. A, G, F sharp, D. I'm sorry. I'm going to do that over again because I said D instead of E. A, G, F sharp, E, D, C, B, A, E, C, F sharp, D, and G to close it out. And we slide from A to B, A, G, D. But I've already read over the refrain part, so we'll move on to the next one here. Let me say, Disney is just wonderful. I mean, every composer from Oliver Wallace to George Bruns to Alan Menke, even what Phil Collins did, I mean, it's just been every animated movie they make just turns into a classic. Or at least it's been that way for quite some time. Since the beginning. And one of the things I love about especially the original 19 is the cast of musicians that get credited on their films. I mean, it's not one songwriter. I mean, yes, given Oliver Wallace usually does the overall putting it all together. But I mean, everybody. They even have Sammy Fain, the guy who wrote "I'll Be Seeing You." I mean, they just have a cast of songwriters. Frank Churchill, of course, Oliver Wallace and George Bruns. They just have a cast of songwriters that work on each. It's not just one musician putting together a score. I mean, they orchestrate their music like they orchestrate their animation, and only the best gets chosen. It just makes for it was fun to grow up on, that's for sure. Yeah, just the cast of songwriters that goes into these films. It makes it for very fun music to pick through and cover, and there's always some kind of cool thing going on with the theory. It's like only the best songs get picked, and they knew how to pick them. Alright, but we need to get into our final part of this covers, and that is going to be the Once Upon a Dream. This is the one that goes a little more in depth whenever it comes to keys. I do have a note here that it would usually start in the key of C on that whole D, F, D, G, D. It's an F, G, F, hammer on pull off, D, and then a low F note. So I'm sorry, D, F, D, G, F, G, F, hammer on pull off, D, F. So there's no D note before the hammer on pull off. There's a G note before the hammer on pull off. That was my mistake. Not reading what I have written down. And then it's supposed to go into these slides from a G fifth to a C fifth. So it really does start off in the key of C. We're not starting in the key of C. We really are starting in the key of A and working our way to a key of E. So this is our one exception to where we're not even starting in a key of D or G or C or anything like that. Because these songs are supposed to, but nope, this is the one exception. We were supposed to start in a key of C. Instead, we start with our key of A with this melody. And that's going to be an A chord. So the A chord, we're just using the 2, 3, and 4 strings, starting on that 4th string, 7th fret. A, C sharp note and E note together. G sharp. This is going to be an E chord, but we're starting off of our G sharp with a B and an E note together. F sharp minor. F sharp to an A and a C sharp note together. And another E chord. This time we're starting off of an E note. So E, G sharp, and a B note together. And of course back to B. We're going back to that main note every time. Now we get to move to our C-type bar chord, our D major chord, and walk. So D, F, A, D, C sharp, that major 7th note comes in there. A, F sharp, D, F sharp, A, D, E, B, G sharp. And, well, repeat that twice, but the second time we go into our Once Upon a Dream medley. And I'm just going to go ahead and read that off to you as I play it. A, G sharp, F sharp, G sharp, A, G sharp, A slide to B, A, B slide to C sharp, A, B. We're going to walk it in from now on. So C sharp, D sharp, E. And now this is where we change to the key of C. I'm calling this one and we'll go ahead and call that one, still we're in the key of A, but whenever we move to this one, key of E. And there's a reason for that. We're gonna walk it out eventually, as you hear in the recording, in the video for it. But and that is the reason for that. But yeah, we're gonna call this key of E, and it's going to be C sharp, D sharp, E, D sharp, C sharp, D sharp, E, D sharp, E, E to F sharp, E, F sharp to G sharp, E, F sharp to G sharp, F sharp, E, F sharp. Walk it in. So F sharp, G sharp, A, G sharp, F sharp, G sharp, A, G sharp, A slide to B, A, B slide to C sharp, A, B. Same as the first time, but we're walking it in that time. C sharp, D sharp, E, D sharp, C sharp. Oh, I'm sorry. This is the second time we're doing this. So I'm looking at the top one. I need to be looking at the bottom one. So C sharp, D sharp, E, D sharp, E slide to F sharp, E, F sharp slide to G sharp, F sharp, E, F sharp. Now our key is going to change. We're going to start out in what I'm going to call the key of G. And again, there's a reason, and I'm going to call it the key of G, even though we don't have all the notes for it. Once we get to the final key, it'll make sense to you. It'll all make sense to you. But we're going to start with the key of G, and our notes are going to be F sharp, G, F sharp, E, D, key of C, E, F, E, D, C, key of B flat, D, E flat, D, C, B flat, the final one, key of A flat. But due to what we're going to do at the end, we're going to call this A flat augmented the key. C, D flat, C, B flat, A flat, C, F, E, and an F chord taking us back to the key of C. Basically changing our C. Changing our A flat back to an A note. That is it. But again with this one, so that final walk is going to be C, D flat, C, B flat, A, C, F, E, and F chord. The only note that's changed from that A flat is that E note, and it should be an E flat. We sharp it up to an E. That augments it for that A flat major key, augmenting that E flat to sharpen the 5. Sharpen that 5 from an E flat to an E. And, well, it enables us to get back to the C key with an easy transition. So, again, or even a D minor key, even a B flat key, I mean, it enables us to work back to less flat notes with relative ease. And, well, that's everything I have to show you for that one. Let's go ahead and get into D run. Let's go ahead and do it. Everything's bouncing off of mid D. You might want to throw your pick away for this. The second part's going to be, I'm working triplets off of 3 strings. So you might want to throw your pick away once we get to that one. Even this part's going to be a little hard because I'm using double notes. But just everything's bouncing off of this mid D. We're not using the low D yet. Just everything bouncing off the mid D or the low G or the low A. Okay, so we start with major, suspended 4th, just pulling off the major. This is all going to be done on our high notes. They're all going to be done on the 1 and 2 string, working off that D chord, that F sharp note on the 2nd fret of the 1 string, and that D note working off the 3rd fret of the 2 string. But we're going to be moving our positioning around as the chord calls for it. So that 3 note pulling off to the 2 note, that suspended 4th pulling off to the major. This is going to be a 2 note A and D, 2 note little D 5th chord, high A and D, just a high D 5th chord. And well, this last part here, it's going to be a major 7th sus 2. So a C sharp note, second string is going to be the 2nd fret. The 1 string you just leave open, but that C sharp note on that 2nd fret, 2nd string, you're going to have to hammer on to the D note. Hammer on from that C sharp to the D note. But you don't do anything with the suspended 2nd note until we hit the medium range D note again, and then go back to major. Alright, our G1 is going to be much simpler. So G, just 3rd fret, just cover the 3rd fret, 1st string and 2nd string. So G note and D note. It's just that A note pulling off to a G note, which is a suspended 2nd pulling off to a major chord. And also, this is where we do go to the 2nd and 3rd string to get our B note and our D note. B note on that 3rd string, D note on that 2nd string. So, and the final 2, we just go to that suspended 2nd chord, but we don't pull off right back to major to end it. Do it one more time. Regular. Alright, this is gonna be a 6 chord. To a suspended 4th chord, so everything the same. You get up to that high 5 chord, but then we move to a 6 chord and then a sus4 chord. I think you got that. Now we go to the A. So just normal C sharp, 2nd string, and 2nd fret, and 3rd string gonna be the A note. So suspended 4th chord pulls back to a major chord. Major chord again, then a suspended 2nd chord, then a major chord again. So major, suspended 4th to major, after the suspended 4th to major, it's just major again, low A, suspended 2nd, low A, and then major again. Then we're going to move to the G. So just a major. So low G, 2 string major, 1 and 2 string. Then pluck that G note one more time, that low G, and then just start rattling off G, D, G, G, D, G, D, D, G, G, D on the 1, 2, and 3 strings. Just a G 5th chord. Just like that. So 3 times all the way through, and then 1 time just the 2, just the G and the D note. And back to the first time normal, but the 2nd time major, suspended 4th to major, major, and then we're going to go straight to the major 7th suspended to 9th chord, but major 9th chord, but we call them major 7th suspended 2. That way there's just no confusion. Yeah, major 9th chord. But so that 1st string open, 2nd string 2nd fret to produce that E note and that C sharp note. But that C sharp, you're coming down onto the D. You're fixing that part immediately. The E will just ring out. And then you hit the low D note again, or not low D note, but medium D note again. And then the major. Then we do go to major. And that will end it. After that, we're going to start our are triplets. And this is going to be a pattern of, you're always going to start on the low D note. This is where we do go to the low D note. But it's always going to be a pattern of D, C sharp, B, A, G, F sharp, E, D. Whenever we get to G, it'll be G, A, G, F sharp, E. Do that twice. And whenever we get to A, it'll be A, B, A, G, F sharp to G with the G, A, G, F sharp, E, D, D, C sharp, B, A, G, F sharp, E, D. But we're going to be starting on the D note. So, boom, triplets. But we're ending on the medium D note, so we're not quite doing 16th notes. It's more like 15 notes, and we have our rest in a proper place. Right there. My bad. But after that low note rings out for half a beat, a quarter of a beat, probably something more like this is an 8th note, everything else is 16th note, triplet type feel. And it's just not a lot. You're running after that. You're on a triplet run after that little rest. So everything else is quick succession. Now, the mid D note does not change. Whenever you go to G, you're playing the mid D still. When you go to A, it's still the mid D that's ringing out. But the G and the A change. Same with but the mid D is what is constant, and the pattern is what is constant. It's just the low notes are going to change as well as our high note pattern. Alright, that does it for D run. Again, D run is entirely in the key of D. It does not deviate at all. And, well, we can go ahead and do set free in this one also, because it's an easy song. That way we're at the beginning of Pride Plus whenever we start this next video. Set free is going to be a you can use a pick with set free. We're back to, you can be using a pick for the rest of this. But set free is a pattern that starts out by working off of an E suspended second type chord, and even E suspended second minor type chord, because we're going to go to a G note to move it on. But we're pretty much in the key of C that is constantly pushing towards the key of G. Now, in the next song, Pride Plus, we're going to actually be working a theory that maintains a D, E, F sharp, G pattern. Like, it's going to be based on tying that F and that F sharp note together. Everything we do with the next song. This is not. This is more like Ode to the Truff Shop, to where it's just we're integrating true, well, with Ode to the Truff Shop, it was everything between C and the D key. With this one, it's C key pushing towards G key. So whenever that F sharp note shows up, it's not showing up in the same way it would in Pride Plus. It's showing up more as a true alt like it would in an Ode to the Truff Shuff. But with this song, it's like from the get-go. It's always, the low notes are always going to be the key of C, except for that F sharp chord that kinda tries to push us into the key of G at the end there. And rightfully so. We're going to move to the key of G for the beginning of the Truff Shuff. Or the beginning of Pride Plus. I'm sorry, I was talking about Truff Shuff, but the beginning of the next song, Pride Plus. But even with that E suspended second chord, it's pushing an F sharp note into our pattern from the get-go, even though we are going to, the third progression includes an F note, includes a G7th type feel. I mean, we're overall, if I had to key this, I would key this for C. You're encountering the F sharp note in some weird places. It's not necessarily a sharp 5 application. It's like it's trying to push into the G key. And it's one of the things I like about this song. This song was written quickly though, but we'll talk about that in the next video. I'll give myself a little time in the next one to do history. This pattern's going to be E, B, F sharp, B, E, B, F sharp, B, E, B, F sharp, B, E, B, F sharp, that medium G. Now we're going to move to a C type chord, but with an E note ringing out. We got our 3 note in there in the low position, basically. E, C, G, C, E, C, G, C, E, C, G, C, E, C, G, low A. Now this is where this G7th type chord comes in. G5th with the 7th note in it. G, D, F, D, G, D, F, D, wait. F, D, G, D, F, D, G, D, F, A. And this time it's going to be that medium A. So yeah, G, D, F, D, G, D, F, A, C, G, 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 C, G, 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 C, G, 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 C, G, G, and even that harmonic is 3rd string, 5th fret, harmonic, even that's a G. So just a bunch of G notes. Now we get to go into our first chord. Alright, this is going to be a B5th chord, but we're letting the 2nd string ring out on an open note and the 1st string ring out on an open note, making for a suspended 4th chord. So basically all it is, B5th, but with a suspended 4th type sound. We're doubling up on one of the once we get to that C part, it's going to be a C major 7 to a C suspended 2nd. My bad. Okay, you hear it. That major 7th, the proper major, to suspended 2nd feel with the B, C, D notes coming in on that 2nd string right there. After that, we move to a G. And that G, we're working off that 5th string on the or a 5th fret on the 6th string. That's where we're getting our first G note from. B notes coming from that 2nd fret on the 5th string. We're muting the 1 string and just letting all other strings fly open. But That's going to be a proper G5, F sharp 5, D5 to the E minor chord. Now this next part is going to be one of two things. It's going to be, well, first off, every time it's going to be that G, F, now that first time we go the G to F to an F sharp major. No funny business. But then we're gonna take the one string and we're gonna open it, and it's gonna be an E, C sharp, B flat, E, C sharp, B flat. That F sharp major 7th. So E, B sharp. And really that B flat, we should call it an A sharp probably, because we're in such a extreme major key if we're playing such notes. But that's the extent of our alting by bringing the F sharp chord in there and bringing it in as a major. We're doing something a little extreme here, and then go into the 7th chord to end it. But that's creating a little dissonance before we go right back to the beginning part in that key of C, always pushing the key of G feel again. Now, the second time we're going to end with the dissonance. We're going to end with that F sharp chord, that F sharp major chord, but it's going to be, we're going to do the chord part with the E note hanging out, with the E note being opening in there. And the final part to where we do that'll be just an F sharp major. We're going to revert to the F sharp, C sharp, A sharp, F sharp, C sharp, A sharp, F sharp again, C sharp, and we go straight into Pride Plus's intro. F sharp, A, B, C sharp, B, A. And we're kind of using a triplet feel here. Boom, 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 boom. And that'll go in accordance with the way other things show up too. It's just a triplet feel, so. Boom, 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 boom. But we're gonna move this. This starts us in the key of D actually, but we're gonna work it back to the key of, basically, a key that's more worthy of G or C. No C sharp. We're gonna slowly alter these C sharp notes into C notes. But I'm gonna call it here. We're going to save that lesson for the next time. But yeah, this next lesson will be fun because we're actually working. We had that thing that was ever pressing into key of G, working with set free. Now we're moving on, playing off of an F sharp note and starting with a key of D, but working back to a key of G next time. Like I said, there was a key of G in there. It doesn't necessarily start the intro, but we immediately work back to it, just like before we were working from C towards that G. Now we're going to be working from D back to the G. And that'll be, well, saved for the next one. Alright, hope it's working, hope it's helping, well, at least we're learning something. Alright, till next lesson.